Hi everybody. In this video we're going to be looking at how to take on the Reptomancer using the Defect. So a quick little note of what came up on my screen here. This is a relic, so at the start of each combat I'm choosing one of 3 random colorless to put in my hand, and so I have to pick between one of these, and then we'll get into the details. So I like the idea of using Forethought because you could get a free play in there, especially with a big one with the Thunder Strike, for example. Debuffs with the artifact, probably not really that critical for this year. They're not going to do too much in terms of debuffs. And then drawing 3 cards. Normally this seems like it would be a good idea. However, I'm using the Runic Pyramid. So at the end of my turn, I don't discard. Drawing 3 cards could be absolutely catastrophic. So the safest play here seems to take Forethought. Now let's talk about the relics that I have in play here. Right off the bat, I have Resting, that's nothing. Add Vulnerable to everybody. Heal at the rest stops. Junk. Upgraded skills. A little bit extra damage. Start with an extra focus, always helpful. Curse, doesn't really matter here. Heal 2 at the start of combat, which I needed desperately. Notice I came into this one very underpowered. Runic Pyramid I already talked about. Runic Pyramid is sort of a double-edged sword. You don't get to cycle through your deck very fast, and then ultimately it may hurt you in the long run, but I like being able to retain the cards. It gives me a little bit more flexibility if I draw something a little bit out of order, and I don't want to wait for the deck to refresh again. Runic Pyramid, or Shovel rather, junk for me. Toolbox, we talked about that one already. Eternal Feather, it's a rest site again as well. Pen Nib, this one here is going to be tough to micromanage for this particular fight, because one, we don't do a lot of attacks, but we'll have to try and keep an eye on this if we can. And then when an enemy dies, gain a card and energy. This is going to be critical for this fight here, because with the number of ad spawns that she does here, this is obviously going to be very helpful for us to get by with a couple extra turns. So, things to note about this fight. She is incredibly dangerous. If you come in under health at all, you better pray to God that you have some blocking capabilities, because this here is basically just I want to say tank and spank, but you have to be able to soak the damage and dish it back. These little swords here are pretty predictable. They'll usually attack once, and then they'll attack again in a suicide manner. So the idea is, can you kill these guys before they kill you? And that's the hard part to manage. Dealing with her, once you get down to maybe one of these guys where you can split up your damage, that's pretty good. My goal here will be to ultimately utilize electrodynamics so I can hit everybody in one fell swoop, as well as my focus boosts. I also have a charge battery in there. This is a newer card that I had just gotten. So this one here is going to allow me to get extra energy on the next turn, as well as provide a block. I have 2 of those. I also got a second hologram, so I can pull something from my discard pile. And then I have a random power free cost. But otherwise, the methodology is largely going to be the same. I'm going to try and get through channels as fast as I can so that I can ultimately get the lightning flowing to utilize electrodynamics. Okay, with that said, let's take a look at our opening draw. So we have a little bit of defense here. That's we don't really have a lot of attacks, so we can't really do much on this here. I did say that I'm planning on saving Forethought for where is it? Thunder Strike, so that I can get this one out for free if I get through my deck quick enough. Because the downside to this card is it puts it on the bottom of your draw pile, so I have to get through 28 cards in order to get to it. So this is just going to sit tight for now. I could play it, but obviously Thunder Strike isn't in my hand right now, and it's just not gonna do anything right now. So I think what we should do now is we should get a little bit of defense going. So channeling Frost, having Frost against this woman is going to be helpful. And actually, before I start this, my potions. Because I'm underpowered to begin with, I think because we're so close to the end as well, you don't want to end your run here. So I'm thinking the extra focus from potion, extra dexterity, neither of these two expire, as well as the extra orb slots are all going to be critical in this fight. So I think just because I'm already down, it would probably be smart to use these all right away. I don't generally advocate for using all of your potions on one fight, unless it's like the final boss or just an act boss. But this woman here can be hard if you can't get through the daggers. So this gives us a little bit of a cushion, and then it also gives us extra block when we go up. So get a couple of free cards. There's the Thunder Strike. There's really no benefit in putting it at the bottom of the pile now. If push comes to shove, if this generates a little bit higher, I may want to use this mid-fight. So while I want to use this card with Thunderstrike, I don't want to abandon this card right away. Because what if next turn I need this card and now it's gone? Even if I was willing to pay 3 for it instead of 0. There's no point getting rid of it unless I run into an issue where my hand keeps getting full and full and full. To round out this turn, I think we're going to play Charge Battery. I'm going to get extra block as well as energy on the next turn. So I have 12, 22 block. I get to absorb everything, and I'll get one little cheap shot on somebody. Not great, but at least I'm not dead and I'm not taking damage. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is why this fight sucks bad. 25, 26, that is 51, let's see, 50, 76, 88, 85 damage coming at me. That's pretty rough. So the key thing with this fight is don't rush it. Obviously, I have a lot of cards to contend with here. In your playthrough, you might only have 5 cards to deal with. If that's the case, like I said, you got to come in full health and you got to come in with some good defenses. Thing is, you don't ever really know if you're going to encounter her. I tend to try and avoid Act 3 elites as it is. So I think what we're going to do with this here is we want to kill this guy to mitigate some damage. So we can do 10, and a strike would be 19. So we can kill him outright. And I don't think we can kill any of the other ones then, but we can kill this guy. And where does that leave us now? Channeling, that's my main MO. We gotta figure out who we want to damage with this. That's a good question. I think may as well try to put it on this guy. You have to kind of weigh the options here because he's gonna explode. So am I gonna be able to kill him this turn? That's a good question. So I will have 7 damage plus 12 lightning. That's only 19 so far. So you have to, I don't know, you just have to roll with it, I guess. So try to do that. I think smart play here is to always build focus. That's going to give me more defense and more lightning. And then the last piece, because I'm taking so much damage, this is 5160 damage. That's my entire load, if you will. I think just defending is the best option then. I can't really risk doing anything else. So this will give me 10, 24 total block. That'll basically mitigate 1, and I'll take a good 30 from this turn. That's hard. So regardless of which dagger I would have attacked, it doesn't look like it would have helped. He committed suicide there. And now my hand is full. That's the downside of using Runic Pyramid. Alright, so here's where we're at then. We have a little bit of block. We have a lot of attack coming in. We have 55 attack coming in. We don't have 55 in terms of block and health. So now we got to start thinking a little bit. What can we do? So we definitely want to defend, because we pretty much have to. There's no two ways around that. So let's defend. And then I think charge battery is going to be a good one to get back, because that's going to give us energy for the next turn. So this gives me a little bit of block. And then if I take charge battery, now I have 30 block. That absorbs her. And I still have health plus defenses there to stop the dagger. On top of that, maybe I get lucky and my lightning does actually what it's supposed to and kills people. It did not. Okay, now we're back to handful again. Plus side, she is all alone now and she is not attacking. So she is going to summon, but once she summons, this fight is over. So we have to try and set ourselves up for at least some blocking or some heavy defenses or some heavy offense at this piece here. So I think what I want to try and do is to get some of my channels going. Maybe I can evoke the if I can evoke the frost, then I get some defenses. I don't really want to do it this turn because she's not attacking, but free play with lightning, definitely. From here, it's tough to say. I think static is a good one just to have out there. And then now that we have some stuff out here, let's dual cast and we'll put our darkness out there too. So I don't want to summon darkness first because I don't want to dual cast on frost. So we dual cast on lightning, start to chip away at her a little bit, and then we bring darkness out. And then the last turn, there's no point blocking. I still have quite a few turns, so I don't want to tuck this one at the bottom yet. So I think the last piece would be to just attack. Not going to take any damage. I'm going to do an extra 16 to her. And I've really gotten screwed over with the lack of electrodynamics. I really needed that card. And once you know, it's still not there. I can't believe that hasn't come up already. That hurts me bad. So she's doing 26 plus 9 is 35. I have 16 and 14 is 30, so I at least need a little bit of defense. Free plays. Add a random power, cost 0. Yes, please. Whenever you play a power card, channel 1 lightning. It's free. And I have 1 power card, but it's a terrible one. This here, so the way that I have to treat this is, do I want to just treat this as a quote-unquote summon lightning, channel lightning? That's essentially what it is. It's a 1 cast channel lightning is what this is. I wish it was a little bit better option, but I think that's kind of where we're at. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to get the extra 10 block and get another passive lightning out there. So there's my lightning, a little bit of block. And then charge battery for sure. Extra energy next turn, more block. And then attacking's not going to do much. I'm relying on these things for attack, so I think we'll just defend one more turn. So 29 and 36. So I actually got the entire turn blocked. That's good. Still didn't kill the dagger. That's manageable at this point. 17, I should be able to dish out that much. And finally, after 15 minutes of hardcore action and near death, electrodynamics comes out. So the big thing with this is we want to make sure that we play it in an order that helps us the most. So it's going to summon 3 lightning, which is going to push these 3 out. I'm going to do 13, 26 damage. That kills the dagger. I am cool with that. And then I think if we can force this darkness out, that's going to chip her down. We just have to make sure we have enough defenses to go around. So let's do this before I forget about it. Dagger is dead. And so now I have 8 times 5. I have 40 damage in the chamber. It's not enough to kill her. Not enough to kill her. So let's think for a second here. We have plenty of energy to work with. I could do 5 times 8 is 40, and 5 times 8 is 40. That's it right there. So it's actually good that I didn't spend this, because I mean, it would have been coming up very soon, but now this is 5 times 8, and this is 5 times 8. That's a total of 80 damage. So let's bring the pain. So the key takeaways for this fight here is, if you got some major damage cards, great. You have to try and determine where you want to place your damage. So for example, going back a turn or two, anytime that those daggers are attacking for 25, really think to yourself if you want to waste an attack on them if you're not going to kill them, because they're going to die anyways. If you're just attacking for the sake of attacking, attack the main boss, or attack one of the other daggers that are not exploding. That's a critical component to understand. I think often the first or second turn, I actually attacked one that was attacking for the 25, hoping that my orbs would hit it, and I don't think it did. So you want to be cautious about that. I think when you're playing the Defect, if you could err on the side of blocking and defenses, especially if you have a couple of orbs out there with lightning, you're going to be sitting a little bit better. But definitely come in with some defenses. If you come in understocked with relics, you're kind of stuck there. If you come in without focus and without orbs, you might be stuck there as well. And if you come in under health, you are definitely going to be at a disadvantage as well. But this is going to wrap up her. See if she actually gives me anything worth the hassle. Whenever you play a power card or random, this is actually good because I have a good number of power cards in my hand. But this was a tough fight, and I'm going to definitely need every rest site I can get at this point. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or other tactics, or you feel like something could have been done a little bit more optimal, definitely leave a comment. Otherwise, we will see you again soon.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.